The Way of Will John.
What I discovered is that coaches have been using breath training for decades and decades and decades, and it worked incredibly well for so long. Some runners, coaches would have the runners carry water in their mouths. They'd have them take a cup of water, put it in their mouths, run around the track, come back and spit the water back out. What does that force you to do? It forces you to breathe through your nose, because when you're breathing through your nose, you get 20% more oxygen. And by getting 20% more oxygen, you think that's not going to make a difference to your performance and recovery. You're crazy. And so this guy, Carl Stow, taught runners, he taught opera singers, he taught emphysemics how to breathe better. And he was the one that was brought in for the 1968 Olympics in Mexico City, elevation 6,000 feet. And he's the one who taught the U.S. men's track and field team to breathe properly, and they went out and destroyed everybody. They won more medals than any other track team ever, and they did not need to take oxygen before or after the races. Every other team was. They didn't need to, because they knew how to breathe properly. So he trained numerous professional athletes, and I'm in touch with several elite trainers right now for NBA, NFL, cyclists, runners, football stars. And mark my words, in about 5 years, this stuff is going to be taught hand in hand with weight training, because we have 11 pounds of muscles that control our respiration, right? We're working out every other muscle in our body, our wrists, our arms, but we're not working out the muscle that delivers us energy, which is absolutely nuts. And you'll be shocked when you start looking at the scientific research at the performance gains that people can get after 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 8 weeks, double-digit performance gains. And it's all right there in the literature, but for some reason, we're focused on developing new goos or new powders to eat before you compete, which is crazy to me.
Yeah. Well, when you say those gains that they're getting, these massive gains, what are they doing specifically? What specifically? Because you mentioned mouth breathing, and I know, obviously, having read the book, and now I do remember the anecdote of the track, the guys putting the water in their mouths. But when you mention that they're having these gains, what specifically are they? Only just deciding I just breathe through my nose? Are they not doing any other exercise besides
They're
that?
developing their diaphragmatic movement. So a lot of us, when we get stressed or when we enter into like zone 4, zone 5, like really intense exercise, we tend to default to the mouth. So when you're breathing this way, you just think about the body's physiology, right? When you're breathing that quickly and that shallow, you are bringing air into your mouth, to your throat, to the bronchi, just to the very top of the lungs. That only plays, it's very hard to get oxygen at the top of our lungs. So it doesn't participate in gas exchange as efficiently as the lower lungs. So you're literally just bringing air in and exhaling it. It's like sitting at a stop sign and just idling your car, right? You're not going anywhere with that. So what all of these trainers are doing is teaching athletes how to breathe in line with their metabolic needs. Yes, when you're in an all-out sprint, you have to go for it. It's fine to open your mouth for moments at a time, but you want to be breathing efficiently. Why would you want to be expending energy you wouldn't need to expend? Especially if you're a professional athlete, you need to be operating in the zone of complete efficiency so that you can have energy to run faster than your opponent, to run harder, and to run longer. And that's exactly what breath training really does. It's not just about eating food. You don't just eat food or not eat food. It's what food you eat. And breathing is the same thing. It's how you're taking in that air. Just really will influence your performance and how your body operates, because of course it does. Every cell, is going to be working aerobically. It wants to work aerobically. You can switch to anaerobic, and that's fine, but it's going to wear your body down if you're anaerobic for too long. So you want to be using oxygen. So if you want to be using oxygen, you want to be getting that oxygen in an efficient way. And that's what this breath training is doing. And that's what some of those products are trying to train you to do, to breathe slower, to breathe deeper, to breathe less than you're used to, because you actually get more oxygen, more energy by breathing that way. It's so counterintuitive, but that's how the body works.